Today's episode is all about Nepalese food, but more specifically about Nepal's most famous food, momos. These dumplings can be hard to find because Nepalese food isn't widely available, but I found them from a Nepalese vendor inside an unlikely gas station. Come along, let's go! Everest Momo Plus, that's the name of the place I went to today, and it's quite a hidden find. It's inside the Liberty gas station on Route 50 here in Loudoun County, just beyond the Fairfax County line. And there isn't really a sign out front. I mean, you really wouldn't even know that there's a Nepalese food stall a food counter inside this gas station. Well, actually, no. There is a kind of a sign out front. I did see it, but it's faded. It looks like it's been sitting out in the sun, and it's kind of weather beaten, and it's very light. It's been exposed to so much sunlight that it's faded, so you really have almost an impossible time seeing it if you were just driving by. But this is kind of a word-of-mouth type of place. And they serve Nepalese food, or is it Nepali food? I know Nepali and Nepalese are used commonly. Those are the two common words used to refer to the food. And the first thing I'm going to eat are the momos. And in fact, most of what I'm going to eat today are momos. And momos are, without doubt, the signature food of Nepal. It is the food ambassador, so to speak, of the country. People know this most well of all of the Nepalese food items. It's a plump, kind of roundish looking dumpling. It's served usually with something called jol. It's a kind of liquidy chutney. It's kind of chili and tomato based, and traditionally you would have the liquidy chutney, the jol, you would have it poured over the momos rather than dipping them on the side. Saying that the jol is on top might be a misrepresentation, because it's really just swimming and sitting in this this sauce. Really, it's just surrounding the momos, and I guess there's a bunch of them. I'm just going to poke one, and I'm just going to poke one and get started. Wow, that's good. First of all, that meat, that chicken meat, is really good. It's dense and very meaty, but it's seasoned really well. And the jol is spicy, but in a very gentle, complimentary way. It's not overpowering. It's not overbearing. It's very pleasing, the spice level of this jol. Wow. The filling is very, very dense. Yes, that might be the best chicken dumpling of any kind I've ever had. The meat, again, is so forgiving but dense, and so savory and well seasoned. But the key player there is the jol, that liquid chutney that is usually paired with the momos. It is so good. It has a very gentle, kind of a distant tomato flavor. I mean, as I was eating it initially, it didn't hit me over the head that I was eating something that was tomato based. That's how gentle and how smooth and balanced the jol is. I can see why momos are the national dish of Nepal, because it's so good, and it's easy to eat. I mean, I can imagine you can eat this on the go, and I'm sure people take their time with it too, and kind of sit down and eat it. Dine in at a restaurant, or you can get it conveniently on the street. And I think if I'm thinking about it correctly, to the best of my knowledge, it's just everywhere, right? In Nepal, it's a popular street food. It's also a popular restaurant food. Okay, I got the vegetable momos too, and I'm going to eat those next. I wanted to contrast the chicken momos with the vegetable momos. And as I'm looking at them, they look more conventional. They look more dumpling-like. It has more of an elongated shape, and it just looks more like a dumpling than the momo did, because the chicken momo looked more roundish and more plump. It had that kind of appearance to it, whereas this one is long and kind of very, like I said, very conventionally looking. Oh, here it is. Oh. As I'm looking at the interior of the veggie momo that I just bit into, I can see a yellow, kind of a yellowish color to it. So I don't know what that is. Maybe it's turmeric, I don't know. But there's cabbage in there, and carrots. Looks like some scallions. Wow. That's really good. There's a slight spiciness to it. Ooh, that's really, really good. Yeah, for the next momo, I'm gonna dip it in the jol. I got the jol on the side for this one, so I'm gonna dip it and see what it's like with the jol. Yeah. It seems like everything the jol touches is delicious. Wow, that's like some magic liquid chutney, some magic sauce. Oh, let me dip it again. It seems like what's going on is the jol is just intensifying the flavor that's already inside the veggie dumpling. And in fact, that's probably the same thing that was going on with the chicken momo too. The flavor is already bumped up in the filling, and so when you dip it in the jol, it's weird. Rather than taking over and kind of masking what's going on, it's kind of like it's intensifying the flavor that's already inherent in the momo or the vegetable momo. It's really, really a striking flavor combination. Okay, the next momo that I'm going to try are the chicken chili momos. I think this is the same chicken momo that I had earlier, but it's just prepared differently. It's fried first, and then it's kind of lathered in a chili sauce, and there's some sort of vegetable content kind of sprinkled or lathered on top. I don't know exactly what kind of vegetative matter that is. It looks like some peppers, carrots, cabbage. It might be, some of the same stuff that went into the veggie momos, but it's just not chopped up real fine. I don't know. It looks fairly intimidating because it has that kind of deep red color that really spicy food has. So let's see what this is like. I don't know. I have a little trepidation. This could be really spicy. All right, here it goes. Wow. Wow. Now, is it spicy? Yes, it is, but it's not as spicy as I thought it would be. The owner kind of made me think that these would be really spicy, but I think they're adjustable. In other words, it probably has a similar appearance, right? You know, whether it's mild or extremely spicy, but this one is not extremely spicy. I would say it's probably more mild than it is very spicy, and in fact, the spice level is very, very well executed. It doesn't overwhelm your taste buds, and so you can really still taste the chicken and appreciate what's going on. It's not that I fear, the burn and the sting of spiciness. Well, actually, I do. I don't want to be overwhelmed with spiciness, but I guess the bigger issue is you don't want the spicy level, or I don't want the spicy level to mask the actual food item and kind of take over so much that you're not really even tasting the food anymore. All you're tasting is the spice. That's not what's going on here. The spiciness is complementing the momo, and it's a different kind of spiciness and flavor that's going on. In comparison to the Joel earlier, this is a much thicker kind of sauce that's on top. It's not liquidy like the Joel. I'm presuming it's tomato based too, but it's a different kind of flavor. It has more depth to it, if that makes any sense. Wow. And I can see why these chicken momos are fried first, because I guess that firms up the texture and prepares them to be doused with whatever this chili sauce is. And it's really good. I mean, it's the same dense chicken filling I had earlier, and this is really good chicken. Wow. And this vegetable matter looks like onions and maybe some bell peppers and I don't know, carrots, shaved carrots. There's a sweetness coming off of the vegetables. Yeah, and it really goes well with that chili tomato sauce, and it really complements the dumpling. This is a masterful Momo preparation. This is a very, very distinctive and delicious kind of a dumpling preparation. Wow, I really like this. Okay, the last item I'm going to try is something called Samaya Bazi or Samaya Baji. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Forgive me if I mispronounced it. So let me just look at it and see if I can decipher what the constituent parts of them are, of this Samaya Bazi. If I kind of go clockwise, it looks like there's some potatoes, some chicken, some soybeans, some crispy rice, and some black-eyed peas. That looks like what's in this platter box, and I don't know what to start with. Maybe I should start with the potatoes. Wow. There is a really strong flavor coming off those potatoes. I want to say it tastes like Indian food. It has a very familiar taste to me. It reminds me of Indian style potatoes. I've had that. I haven't had Nepalese potatoes all that much. Wow. But it's seasoned very well, and it has a very strong flavor that complements the potatoes. I want to say a curry flavor. I don't know exactly if that's accurate. It is spicy. I would say just as spicy as those spicy momos I just had, or maybe even a little bit more spicy than the momos. These potatoes are packing a punch, really. Wow. Next to the potatoes are pieces of chicken. Let me try that. Wow. It has generally the same yellowish appearance as the potatoes, so I don't know if it's the same seasoning, but it's really flavorful, just like the potatoes are. I'm breaking out the spoon because I think the next items would be better suited for the spoon. Let me just take some of these soybeans and let's get started with these soybeans. Oh. Wow. Those are some crunchy soybeans. Wow. They taste really fresh, not spicy, but just really crisp and crunchy. Wow, that's nice. Okay, next up is the crispy rice. Oh. Wow. Wow. That's unlike any rice I've ever had. Crispy or otherwise. Wow. It's really crispy. It's very firm, but you know, it does shatter when your teeth, you know, hits the different I was gonna say grains, but they don't look like grains. It might be pounded rice that's baked or fried. I don't know. But the appearance of the rice isn't as grains. They're flat, as if they've been pounded in some way. Wow. Wow, that is the crispiest, crunchiest rice I think I've ever had. Wow. When the owner said crispy rice, I was thinking like the puffed crispy rice they have in Indian cuisine, but this is completely unlike that. It's really distinctively its own. I don't know what this rice is called. Wow, that's really very distinct. And finally, the black-eyed peas. I don't know if black-eyed peas are a common item in Nepal, or maybe black-eyed peas are substituting for another type of bean that's in Nepal. I don't know, but ooh, here they are. Wow. Wow. That's a very starchy mouthful. Wow. There is no doubt I'm eating beans. That is very, very starchy. I don't eat black-eyed peas that often. And in fact, I haven't had it in a long time, but I usually eat it in the American style, you know, the Southern American style. You know, from the American South, I mean. You know. And so that has a softer texture, because I think it's cooked differently or cooked longer. This is not similar to that. Well, thank you so much for watching. This concludes another episode. I'm glad I had those momos today, because Nepalese food, as I mentioned, isn't that easy to get and isn't that easy to find in the Washington, D.C. area where I am, and even across the United States. But I hope one day Nepalese food becomes even more and more popular. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you joined me. Please leave a comment in the comments section, and please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And also, please consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy the content. I'll catch you next time on my next food adventure. Take care. Bye-bye.